Hey YouTube, let's do a quick review on the Sabo GoodLift, which is a flat-soled squat shoe that I recently purchased along with the Sabo Deadlift, which is a shoe that I did a review on like a week and a half ago or something. You can look at that video if you are looking for a solid, amazing deadlift shoe that's about 5 millimeters on the base, gives amazing goddamn support, and just tacks you to the ground. Enough about that. Let's talk about the Sabo GoodLift. All right, so things about the Sabo GoodLift. Would I say to buy it? Yes, absolutely. If you squat with a flat-soled shoe like a Chuck Taylor, these are the fucking next step up. They are awesome. I adore them. There are a few cons, but there's a lot of pros as well. So when I was hitting my biggest numbers, I was squatting in Chuck Taylors, right? But the problem is they don't provide a lot of support because it's just canvas, and the bottom of the shoe isn't super wide. Where are my Chuck Taylors? I should have had them out to compare. Stay right there. I think my girlfriend moved my Chuck Taylors. Oh, I see him. See, if you just throw shit around, eventually you'll find stuff. So, Chuck Taylor, flat soled, canvas material, leather bound, and a hard rubber bottom, right? The Chuck Taylor is a soft rubber bottom. If you look at the bottom of these things, you can see that the Chuck Taylor has duct tape on the bottom of it for absolutely no reason. But if you look at like the width of the heel, right? The heel on the GoodLift is going to be a little bit a lot wider. All right, and that just provides a little bit more stability when you're in the back squat. Now, it's one of the problems with the Chuck Taylor is that you just don't feel like secure on the ground. Versus something like an ollie shoe, like an Olympic lifting shoe, you do feel a little bit more secure. Now, I hit my biggest numbers in a Chuck Taylor, and that's just because I didn't really know, there was no real good shoes out like this for squatting. And then I invested in a set of Olympic lifting shoes, and my deadlift, or my squat actually went down because it pitches me too far forward and puts pressure on my knees, so I couldn't squat as much. I lifted with Olympic lifting shoes for a while, and then figured out that I needed to go back to a flat sole. So I invested in the GoodLift. So let's talk about pros right off the bat. The first pro is it's got a strap right across the top. There is a name for this. I have no fucking clue what it is. Don't ask me. Right? But what it does is once everything is laced up and tight, you can just tack this thing down to your foot so that you feel like the top of the shoe is nice and secure and your foot's not going to go anywhere in it. The second pro is the hard rubber bottom, right? There's almost no give to the bottom of this thing. So when you are going to squat, it's a 5 millimeter hard base. So you're not compressing anything. It's already compressed and ready to go, and you're driving against a hard surface when you go to squat. The 5 millimeter base. You are as close to the ground as you could possibly be in these shoes to squat with. There's not really a pro or a con with that in the sense that it's just flat. It's completely flat. There's no difference in the heel to the toe. You could also use them for deadlifting if you wanted to, but I would go with the Sabo Deadlifts over, but I wouldn't squat with the Sabo Deadlifts, and I wouldn't deadlift with the GoodLifts. What else? They come in European sizing, so you can measure them all the way up to the perfect length for your foot, which is a little bit more comfortable for a shoe, because if you're not dealing with like size 11, size 11 and a half, well, there's a big fucking difference, and depending on who you are, sometimes centimeter measuring in your on your foot is a good thing. I'm Canadian. We've used the metric system, as does, I believe, every country but 3 that use the imperial. Just saying, US, catch up. So I really do like these shoes. They're not that expensive. They're about 90 bucks, if I remember rightly. There's a couple of cons that I don't really like about them. Lacing them up is a pain in the ass because the laces that you get are really kind of flimsy. And as you're tightening them up, they immediately loosen if you let go of tension. So you find yourself like holding one lace and grinding the other lace up, and then just trying to like hold tension on it so it doesn't loosen. Because if it loosens on your foot, the whole point of this and the whole point of the shoe kind of goes to shit. Because you want it to be nice and tight and feel secure on your foot. Well, it's a pain in the ass when I have to like cinch and then like gypsy my way around to making it tight the entire way through so it won't loosen. It is doable. It's a minor inconvenience, but it is still an inconvenience that I feel like somehow, I don't know, maybe hooks would have been more efficient, but fuck, what do I know? I don't make shoes. So that is one one downfall, one con is that they are a little bit difficult to lace up if you want to get like super fucking tight like I do. Makes me think about like hockey skates. You know, if you had hockey skates that were really loose, you know, that's not the way to go. What else? What else? A minor con is they dig into your feet a little bit. They are hard leather, which is awesome, and they do soften up over time. But there are just certain parts of where the shoe was made that they dig in a little bit, and you end up with like a crease on your foot when you take them off. Is it a deal breaker? Absolutely fucking not. Just don't be a giant fucking bleeding vagina pussy and go ahead and put up with a minor inconvenience, right? You're already squatting 500 pounds or whatever the fuck you're squatting. You're already squatting, which unto itself is like stressful on your body. As long as you're not bleeding, put up with a little bit of pain. My humble opinion. But the pros outweigh the cons. Flat-soled shoe, middle strap to secure the shoe better. You feel tacked down to the ground. The rubber's really good. It's quite secure. Like you plant your feet and you go to you drill yourself into the ground or you screw yourself into the ground. You're not going to move. That's it. Highly recommend these. Highly recommend the Sabo Deadlifts as well. Invest in them if you need a flat-soled shoe. I think they're fucking amazing. Would recommend to anybody. I know there are other flat-soled shoes out there, but it is difficult to get them in Canada because nobody wants to ship to us. Because we are such a small portion of the goddamn global economy when it comes to stuff like this, and we charge a lot more money to import shit and et cetera, that most companies just don't want to do it. They're like, why would I import to Canada and fucking fight their system when they are like 1/10 the size of the United States? Wouldn't bother. Or Europe, who have easier trade laws. So we fuck ourselves. Thanks, Canada. However, that's what I can get here in Canada, so that's what I went with. Questions, comments down below, guys. And as always, eat like a bodybuilder and train like a powerlifter.